Hello folks, this is Mike, PC31 the Vinyl Policeman, and I'm going to show you my May pickups. Picked up some really good things, 7 inches and albums as well. Had a fantastic piece of VCLT in from the community, which I really appreciate. And let's start off actually with something from MGK Boston, Mike and Patty and Colton. And Mike's very kindly sent me a postcard, and he spent a few days in his hometown of Brockville in Ontario, and it was very kind of him to give us a thought while he's holidaying, but really appreciate that. Thanks, Mike. Remember, send Mike MGK Boston postcards. Do it, folks. Right, next thing, had a piece of VCLT in yesterday from Mike Vinyl Spiral, and Mike is such a generous chap, got great taste, and whenever he sends anything through, it always really hits the mark, and this is absolutely no exception. It's funny actually, because with the VC, one of the things I really find about it is that there's certain artists' albums which you may have missed at the time, because your friends at the time weren't into it or whatever, you were just into other genres of music or whatever. But as our American friends would say, this is right in my wheelhouse, because my favourite period of music would be 77 to 82. My favourite genre, I love lots of genres apart from jazz, would be post-punk, probably. Yeah, it's post-punk. And this band falls right in the middle of all of that, and I've never owned this album. I don't think I've even heard their music before, although I'm aware of them, and it's Delta 5. And Mike's Vinyl Spiral very kindly sent this through because he knew I liked all those things, and I'm a big fan of the Gang of Four, and the Gang of Four who came out of the Leeds art scene, and Delta 5 also came out of that same scene, so did the Mekons as well. And you could really hear Gang of Four influence in this actually. And it's a terrific record on the famous Charisma record. So as I say, it's a classic one that just kind of passed me by, would have continued to pass me by, but then Mike, knowing my taste, sent it through, and I absolutely love it. It's the only album they made. There's a compilation, I believe, and several singles, so I will be looking out for other Delta 5 records now. But thanks so much, Mike. Absolutely brilliant. Love it. Absolutely love it. Very, very kind of you. Okay, the next one. Actually, Mike Vinyl Spiral, he met Pauline Murray last year, I think, at a book signing. And this is Pauline Murray's band. This is the second album from Penetration. And Penetration, they were named after a song off of Iggy and the Stooges' Raw Power album, their third album. Yeah, Penetration. And the second album coming up for air. First album, Moving Targets, that was 1978. And this is 1979. And again, Penetration, punk band, but kind of active 76 to 80. That was their kind of prime time. They got back together again, actually. And I know another album was made a few years ago. But this and the debut, I think the absolute classics, but cracking album, really love it. Pauline Murray and Penetration. Actually, before I go any further, I don't tend to pick up very many singles. I pick up singles of artists that I particularly completist of. So I don't pick up that many, but I occasionally have a go through the bins and see what's going on. And I did pick up a little bunch during the month, which I will just quickly whiz through. The members, Sound of the Suburbs. Sound of the Suburbs, what a fantastic song. And that's on the Virgin label. Pick that one up. That was from 1979. From 1980, picked up The Vapors, big one, Turning Japanese. And I saw them last year, actually. That's on United Artists. Here Comes the Judge live on the B-side. Berwickshire Mike, let me know if you've, I'm sure you've got this one of your favourite bands, the Rosillos, Top of the Pops, on the Sire label. On the B-side, 20,000 Rosillos Under the Sea. Sure you've got that one, but let us know if you haven't. One of my favourite post-punk groups again, Theatre of Hate, Kurt Brandon, who obviously later went on to form Spirit Destiny, and before Theatre of Hate was The Pack, who are touring the end of this year actually. Going to try and see them. But this is the big one. I've got this on 12-inch and various other formats. Probably even got 7-inch actually. But this is Do You Believe in the Westworld on Burning Rome Records. Now, talking about Berwickshire Mike, he did a fantastic video last month all about Adamant. It's just really informative. He's got this fantastic personal scrapbook that he really should do something about, because it's got book written all over it. There's so much brilliant information, original flyers, articles, tremendous. And as I say, he went into a lot of detail on Adamant, the early days, so it inspired me to pick up during the month Young Parisians, and that's on the Decca label. And I also managed to pick up Xerox on the Do It label, which was Adam's original label. So I was really pleased to get those during the month. A fantastic song from 1981, and I've got the album, and it's one of those songs I can just put on loop and play over and over and over again. The Passions, I'm in Love with the German film star. Wonderful song on Polydor. And the final one, no it's not, nearly. What a gorgeous picture that is. Jane Birkin. Handbags now, of course. Black, white, but film star in the 60s. What a beautiful picture. Couldn't leave that there. And the final one, can never leave a Stiff record behind. And this is Reckless Eric, which again, I've got the album, and I've got a greatest hits album and things, but this is Whole Wide World. This is his big one, and probably one of the biggest singles that Stiff Records produced actually. But yes, that's just a bunch of singles that I thought were worth picking up. Thought they were really good. So next thing I wanted to show you was the music in the background, probably quite faint, but it's a fantastic album from 2018 from Dead Can Dance, Dionysus from 2008, the 9th album, 2018. World music. I saw them described as neoclassical dark wave. Yeah, I'd have thought of that. But neoclassical dark wave, yeah, that pretty much sums it up actually. Just a duo, Brendan Perry and Lisa Gerrard. We've kind of got that Middle Eastern feel to it, kind of quite ambient, but beautiful music. So, a classic which came out as Half Speed Master in the month, or one which I absolutely couldn't resist because it's my favourite David Bowie album, Diamond Dogs, and it came out as a Half Speed Master, and so the quality, I've got so many copies of this album, but this is such a good album. I mean, when you think David Bowie produced this on his own, he played virtually all the guitars on this. There's no Mick Ronson on this one. A little bit of help from Alan Parker on guitar, but virtually all Bowie on the guitars, keyboards, saxophone. The songs on this, 1974, I can remember I was very, very young, and I bought this, and I thought it was so scary at the time, so eerie, but the songs are so strong, and some of the musical transitions on the album I think are so clever. Yeah, Diamond Dogs, Half Speed Master. Interestingly enough, from a rarity point of view, I know you'll all know this, but there's a few copies which came out very, very early on, which the record company pulled back, which you could actually see the testicles, the ghoulies of the dog, and on Bowie's body. and it was deemed disgusting, so it was pulled. But anyway, there's one of those going through Bonhams on the 12th of June, a few days time, and the estimate value for it is £3,000 to £5,000. It's that rare, one of Bowie's absolute rarities. So if you've got £3,000 to £5,000 knocking around, and you want an original first press Bowie with that Diamond Dogs cover, get yourself to Bonhams in Knightsbridge next week. What I also picked up actually, oh, there's the record, just on normal RCA, black vinyl, nothing unusual. It's all about the half-speed mastering. What I also picked up, again because it's my favourite Bowie album, is picture disc. Are You Looking, Richard McCook? I know it's also Richard's favourite Bowie album as well. I'd imagine Richard's picked this up as well. So that was 1974, that's 50th anniversary. Another anniversary record, and again, I've got multiple copies of this, and I guess because I've got multiple copies, I couldn't not buy this one. This is the ultra crystal clear 2 records, 1 record on each side, Dark Side of the Moon, the UV version, and basically the actual UV, the printing, is on the non-playing side of the record, so it's fantastic quality because there's only music on one side of the record, so it's cut deep, and then the opposite side with no music is the side where it's actually been lasered in. So instead of, so when you get to the end of side 1 now, you don't just flip it over, you've got to get the other record out. The price you pay. And it came with another poster as well. The quality is superb. Collector's edition, I couldn't leave it there. You know what it's like, folks. Comes in a beautiful slip case as well. Right, I picked up a Grail in the month, a record that I've been after for a long time, which came out in 1999. I don't know why I didn't buy it then. I guess records just weren't as much one of those things. It was CD age, and I picked it up on CD, but I've always wanted it on vinyl, and it's just so rare. But I tracked down a real mint copy the other day, and it came through, and it's the greatest live album that's ever been recorded. It's not Live and Dangerous Thin Lizzy, it's not the Allman Brothers, it's not Zeppelin, it's nothing like that. It's the Clash, From Here to Eternity. The quality of this live record, double album, is absolutely fantastic. I really would recommend, this is so hard to get hold of, especially in really good condition, but I would absolutely recommend buying the CD, folks, because if you want to hear the high energy of the Clash in their prime, this is the record. I mean, there's only 2 official Clash live records. I've got lots of bootlegs, but there's only 2 official live ones, and that's this one from 1999, and then they released Shea Stadium when the Clash supported the Who. But the Shea Stadium one is just 100 miles an hour. I just don't think it captures the Clash at all. This particular one is recorded fantastic. My only criticism of this is that it's not one gig, one concert, just going through all the tracks. And I know even things like Lizzie, it can be over a few nights and various things, but this isn't even that actually. This does jump around tours. And so you've got different drummers. You've got Topper Headon on some of the tracks, most of the tracks actually, but you've also got Terry Chimes on some of the tracks playing drums. So it is a mixture, and that would be the criticism of this. But the quality of every song, every performance is magnificent. That's the actual playlist for the 2 records. High energy Clash, just spectacular. Get the CD, folks. You can pick up the CD really easy. It's wonderful. But I'm so pleased to get this Grail in my collection. Right, next one is the Cramps. And again, this is also a live album. This is The Smell of Female. So this is a mini EP from 1983. Yeah, mini EP from 1983, recorded at the Peppermint Lounge in New York. And the playtimes, I think, is about 20 minutes. It's not that long. It fooled me, actually, because when I first put this on the turntable, I put it on as 33, and it wasn't the Cramps. And it's a 45, so you need to adjust that. But yeah, it's their first live album. So, and it's just classic Cramps. It's absolutely superb. Got to pick up a lot more Cramps. Such a great group. And finally, let's show you this one, which is I can't believe I didn't own this before, actually, but UK Subs, classic UK British punk band, and this is their debut album. This is Another Kind of Blues. I've got several of their other albums. Their second one, Brand New Age, was the one that I've owned for a long time. It came out in 1980, but and that's the one I saw the UK Subs last year, and leading up to that I played Brand New Age a lot, but this is the album they tend to still play most tracks from. This came out in 1979. Interesting enough, the lead singer, Charlie Harper, is still going strong. He is now 80, and as I say, I saw them last year, and Charlie was still absolutely excellent. Still a really good front man for quite a hardcore punk band. It's fantastic. I'm going to see him actually in a couple of months' time in a record store nearby, and I think he's doing I can't remember if he's doing an acoustic set or if it's just a Q&A, but I'm going to see him anyway, and so I'm really looking forward to that. There was a quote I read, perfect slice of good time, high energy punk. That's what journalists were saying about this at the time it came out in 1979. And one other little interesting fact there, Charlie Harper, lead vocalist, as I say, he is the nephew of Cesar Romero, the original Joker in Batman, apparently. That's yeah, on the cover, absolutely fantastic. So that's the pickups of the month, folks. Really good month, quite eclectic, some absolute classics there, and some great punk stuff. Oh, I also picked up, which I'm not going to dwell on at all because I know it's not everybody's thing, but I've been picking up some Clash bootlegs, and what I'll probably do is I'll probably do a separate video for this for those that are interested. But yeah, things like this from Paris, Japan, Tokyo, double album. The people laughed, but the press went mad. This is a really small gig early on to, I think it was virtually to just journalists and who didn't like the Clash very much at all. And I think there was only about 40 people there. So this is almost like in a lounge bar. You imagine the Clash in a lounge bar. And so some of the Joe Strummer banter in between the songs to people in the audience is absolutely fantastic, which is why I love bootlegs. Anyway, I think I'll do a separate video on these for those folks who are interested. So I hope you enjoyed that, folks. And it didn't go on too long. I shall speak again soon.